Hello, that's us live now.
Hello. I'm just seeing other people in the chat. Hashtag SML are in the house.
You're so popular. We've got such a decent time. We go in with 9 viewers. That's pretty good for this channel. I can tell you that. You got so many fans too.
They're
So
all
for
lovely.
they all seem wonderful. I'm sure they are. Everyone in our Power BI community is quite fantastic. So
They
for
are.
so many reasons, thank you for joining us. For bringing all your friends with you. Look at that.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi,
Sue.
Belinda.
It's
Good to see you.
fantastic.
Anthony.
Love it.
Good to see.
So again, thank you for joining. And yeah, we're having a nice little discussion before we get started about where Sue. We love Sue. This is fun.
Yeah.
Do
We
you know
have
what? I could just
to.
might just spend
Oh,
the first few minutes just putting on all these "We love Sue" messages. Sue's biggest fan. We love Sue.
it's Dan.
This is fantastic. Such love.
It is. They're amazing. We have this hashtag SML, which and we all meet before the Guy in the Cube channel,
Okay.
and it sort of started off over lockdown, and it has been the most beautiful, joyous thing of
Yeah.
learning, not just about Power BI, but about each other and each other's
Nice.
communities and lives and countries. And we get to see a beautiful lady in her pajamas in the morning, and we just support each other in
Wonderful.
our different presentations. And like Christian did one on Power Query errors, and so it's a really positive thing, and yeah, so it's good.
Is this sorry? SML's a Saturday morning live or something?
Yeah, Saturday morning learning.
Learning.
Saturday
Sorry. Okay.
morning, yeah,
Cool. That's a really nice idea. It's a
yeah.
perfect example of the community in action there.
It
Because
is, and we arrange for different people that we know just to come in
mm,
and have a chat, and actually it's a really safe place to say, actually I don't get this, or I don't understand, and
yeah, very
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I think it's
So
a
it's
very
good.
important thing to be able to admit that you don't know something or you can't.
Yeah, and also the whole Power BI environment is vast. From managing a tenant to to writing DAX to visualizing to Power Query,
Yeah.
and I have to know most of it in a certain point. Actually, they're now talking about bed and pajamas. But then you have experts in certain things. Like we had Chewy, who's a Power BI admin,
Okay.
giving us a rundown on the code that he writes to actually manage tenants. So
Wow,
it's
that's really
it's very cool.
interesting.
Yeah,
Never thought about that. There are certain areas that it's just so easy to overlook because I mean I mentioned before that there are so many areas, and it's
yeah,
impossible
yeah,
to be fantastic at all of them.
yeah. But so
So to have
this is
someone,
this group, yeah, where everyone's really good at something,
yeah.
and most people are really good at everything. But yeah, it's really positive.
Oh, very nice. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I was just speaking. I had someone ask me a question yesterday in Twitter on the DMs that I could not answer, and I felt terrible about. But still, the conclusion was, you know what, actually, this was such a nice thing. This person, she messaged me and asked a question if it could help with something. I tried and I failed because I'm not good at that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But she then said, "Thank you for your help." And then I have on my website, I have this like particular page where I talk about a couple of charities that I like, and she made a
Yeah.
donation to one of the charities to thank me, and I was like,
Oh, what a good idea.
that was such a nice thing that she did
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
This is because sometimes it's just nice, isn't it? You don't want, money because you want to share because you
yeah, of
get so
course,
much. But
yeah.
that's lovely.
No,
I
it was,
just
it was a
think
really nice
that,
touch.
Bernat's
I've
talking
noticed
about
that.
helping. Bernat helped me with calculation groups. I was doing a
Of course.
workout Wednesday thing, and I'd taken it to, I wanted it to do something else, and I'd got it to a point, and I was really struggling to do something else, and then I shared it on Twitter, and Bernard took up the challenge, and I think I frustrated him for a couple of hours.
I'm sure he loved it.
He
Yeah,
did love it. He was so, and Johnny Winter did the same for me with
yeah,
paginated reports. I was
absolutely.
commenting on cats or something, and I said I need it because paginated reports are doing my head in. And
Mm.
so he went, "I'll help."
Yeah, I mean, I had the same experience with burnout. I was looking for a picture that I posted on Twitter the other day because I feel very strongly about burnout and his help with the calculation groups. He's like this.
He's a
I've
guru.
Yeah, I mean, I've messaged him a few times, and he always helps. And it was such a simple thing. It
Yeah,
was so simple. It was like embarrassing. He's like, "Yeah, no worries." So he did it, and then I solved it straight away. It was fantastic. That saved me like half a day, you know.
yeah,
And
yeah, definitely,
I
definitely.
still
And
haven't ventured into paginated reports yet. I always wanted to because I think it would be fantastic. I have one report in mind. I think it would really help. Just
yeah,
haven't got around to it, you know. So for
uh,
that, Johnny.
yeah, Johnny and Laura GB. She's got an excellent
True.
things, but
Yeah.
I really quite like it because it's pedantic in a you know, like if you played with Access, you used to have to get the forms just right.
Yeah.
I quite like paginated reports because it
Yeah.
does that. So
My idea was like for when you have these reports where, and as much as you try to convince your end user, your stakeholders, whatever you want to call them, that you don't want to build a report that just lots of tables, every now and then you're kind of forced to. So I thought for
yeah,
that, to maybe a paginated report would be helpful, just because it's a nicer, just large
yeah.
table on a report. I'm not sure. I could be completely wrong, but that was my idea. So I'll get around to it
Yeah,
one day.
yeah, I'm doing one for, it's a company that likes to take a snapshot at a certain time. So
Mm-hmm.
they have the Power BI, which obviously gives all the visual information, but just on a certain time, and it's in stone and it can't be changed.
Yeah,
Um,
makes
is
sense.
there a link? I haven't got a. Someone will put
If
it in the chat.
someone will find one of Sue's
Someone will find.
crew.
Yeah, one of Wesley's crew, our crew, joint crew. It's a Teams thing, so we can send you, Jeff. We can send you an invite, and it's a Teams thing. So anyone could join.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we'll send you. I'll find you on Twitter, Jeff, and send you an invite.
He's
Or
easy to
someone will.
find. Just
I
search for
know.
measure-driven data labels, and he'll be right there. It's like all the hits, you know.
I think it was Jeff. Did he say something about his wife was the one that was eating popcorn in the theatre or something? It might have been Jeff. I don't know.
I
But
don't know.
he's got a good sense of humour on Twitter. He's someone that
He
always makes me
does.
laugh with his
He does.
comments.
He's very funny.
Yeah.
Jeff's the one that I left all alone when my internet went down. He was just sitting there in this chat room on his own, just trying to answer questions. He was like, "Okay, Jeff, off you go. Have fun for
Yeah.
20 minutes. I'll be back later. Whatever."
Yeah,
Oh
Dan's
man,
laughing, saying he's so hard to find on Twitter.
Barbie, I love you. This is true. That's exactly what he is. Oh man. Anyway, I want to quickly jump to something what we spoke about before about because I love your website. You've got a really cool website.
Thank you.
It's one of these websites that it's maintained and stuff on there, and it's nice to read and it's easy. But there's not often that I get excited about like about an about page. I'm going to post a link here. Anyone can, and that is if you there's this one sentence which I completely agree with, and I maybe try to make you go on a rant or something here. If you work with data and do not use Power Query within Excel, you are missing a key competitive advantage. I love this.
Yeah, it is. It's just stupid, isn't it? Really, why would you not use that? Because it's free. You've
I
got
never
this
understand
huge
it.
data window that is just amazing, and
Yeah.
you know, uh,
Because I even use. I mean, I'm in a really stupid way. I can faster get two tables, open Power Query, link them together, and then merge them and get my data. I can do that faster than I can do like a VLOOKUP or whatever.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
the VLOOKUP is quite fast to do, but I don't know. When I see an Excel training or a heavy Excel user who never opens that tab, I'm like, do you understand the power that you're
Well,
missing?
it is. I
It's
remember
right there in
first
the name. It's
time.
Power
Yeah,
Query.
I was like the first time. It was just like, oh my god! And I can build a database
Yeah.
in Excel with
Yeah.
my tech. You know, it was just oh wow. And I think if people have got businesses and you do something repetitive every
Mm,
week or every month, why? Why
yeah.
do you do that? Life is too short to do repetitive things when the computer will do it for you.
Yeah.
Is my thought. I
I
just
mean,
think,
if basically if you value your time in any way and you
yeah,
have this, it's just. I mean, even when I do like a Power BI training, the first thing I'll say when we start with Power Query
yeah,
or the what's it called in Power BI? It's not called Power Query. It's called the something data editor or something. But I always call
Yeah,
it Power
yeah,
Query.
yeah. Power query is a bit, yeah.
I always just say, look,
Awesome.
just in case you know, this can also be used in Excel. If
Yeah,
you do this
yeah,
training and
yeah,
you have no interest in anything in Power BI, still none of the visualization, all that stuff, you can use this part in Power BI in Excel. So
yeah.
everything we do now, you can also do in
Yeah,
Excel.
in Excel, and it always makes me, yeah, you don't want to write VBA, absolutely.
Yeah,
It
no one
always
wants to do
makes
that.
me, I just don't understand because it just saves you so much time to be able to do it, and people always seem to. I used to do training. Um, Yeah, that's it. That's what Jeff did. Pulling out the Ratley Tinnermans. He made me laugh out loud with that one. I used to do Microsoft Office Excel training, and so
Okay.
people would come in and they wouldn't practice for their Excel thing. They would just say, "Well, I work in Excel all the time," and you're like, "Oh, okay, brilliant." But what they actually mean is, I work on one thing all the time, and you know, why do you not explore and see what these things are? And they'd be really surprised when they then failed. And you would say that's because you're not looking at everything. And Excel is it's it's just so powerful. So the bit that I really really love, I've been thinking about it, is using Power BI and Excel together. That's the bit that I really like. And we
Okay.
were really lucky enough in our Saturday morning group. We had Chris Webb come on, and he was showing us how to do pivot tables with Power connected live in the web onto a Power BI data set. So you
Yeah.
don't even have to use it in the desktop. It was live, and you just think that is so powerful,
Yeah.
and it's just why would you not? But
I think I saw him present that somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but he was. I can't remember if it was live or watching it in a video. But
yeah,
I was watching it. I was like, "That's mad." I
it's,
never.
it is.
It's
It is.
awesome.
But
It's.
yeah, but people think Excel is really, oh, it's Excel, and it's like, oh, it's
I think
new
it's because
Excel.
people have used Excel for so long, and it's got them the result that they needed,
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
don't explore kind of outside that. I mean, there are so many new functionalities, and I mean, I very rarely use Excel, I should say.
yeah,
So I'm talking about these things. I know like Power Query, but when you look at all these new functionalities, and I think it was Bernat shared something on LinkedIn today of this new functionality where it just takes, I can't remember what the hell it was, but it was
yeah,
extraordinarily advanced.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly right tool for the job, Anthony.
yeah.
Um, and I have no idea about this sort of stuff. You need to like actively care about
Yes,
learning,
yeah,
and this is a
yeah,
difference. You can do your job and get
yeah,
your result, but unless you
yeah,
actively say, "I want to learn," it's the same with like with Power BI, but it's different because it's new. So I think the people
yeah.
who use it are more interested in that sort of
New,
thing.
it's sexy, it's got
Yeah,
amazing visuals. Everyone's talking about it, so it's just
yeah.
um,
GPT-3 thing. That
oh, is
is,
that the yeah Excel?
I
But
saw it and I was like, that is awesome.
Ah, but
It's
it
a
is.
demo
It's
thing.
that. It's like Anthony said. It's the right tool for the job.
Yeah,
So you've got this amazing, powerful data modeling tool with
yeah,
Power BI, and that's the bit I really love is the data modeling.
yeah. It's true.
And I think it was. I think you were talking. I think it was with Jeff about data modeling to make your DAX much simpler. And
Yeah.
I did the advanced DAX course with SQL BI before I did the advanced modeling course. And then as soon as I did the advanced modeling, I was like, oh, that's why, that's why, that's
Okay.
why. And then it just, I rewrote all of, I rewrite my DAX in a different way.
Ah, okay, nice.
But I use Excel a lot for checking my tax. so,
Fair enough. Yeah.
so when I'm thinking, why is it doing that? So
Yeah.
yeah, I do it a
Yeah.
lot for checking my DAX, really.
That makes sense. I mean, I just recently discovered this thing in Tablet Editor, the what's called the matrix view or whatever it
Oh,
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can drag and drop it
What?
in and just see.
Yeah. What?
sometimes Tabular Editor, he's my dog. Yeah, Tabular Editor works too quick for my brain. I need to think about it.
Yeah, but it is so
Yeah,
fast. You pull it in, it's just there, just boom. It's like, how did you do that? It's.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I, I
It's
yeah.
fantastic though, isn't it? As a tool,
Oh,
it's
it's
just
amazing.
mind blowing what it can do. Yeah,
I've recently been. This is also tried this Purview in TE3 is wow. Yes, it is. It's very cool. I've been recently rebuilding a report that I developed over a number of years, and I was like, okay, I'll go and I'll I'll rebuild it and I'll use calculation
yeah,
groups and all these things that I've learned since then, and
yeah,
improve the data model, that kind of stuff. And I got to one point and I was like, why is this thing not working? Why it works here and this is
yeah.
newer, it's better, but it doesn't work. And I realized it was because of implicit measures, because I've been used and in the old
Ah,
version before I knew better.
yeah. Before it was like, well, what's the difference?
Yeah, right. I was
Well,
like, this is
yeah.
fine. It's all fine.
And
Um,
it took me a while. I was googling how to do things, and they would write how to do it in DAX, and it wouldn't work in M. And I was like, why is it not working in M? But it's And then I realised there's two languages, which
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't. It's two very
yeah.
different things. So
Yeah, I had
um,
that this week with the writing. I had a really simple M statement. It was like if text contains,
yeah,
and it wasn't working. Honestly, it must have been, I say 20 minutes, but honestly, it's probably closer to 45 minutes to work it out. And I was like, it was just such an if text contains, and I had to try again, nothing. And
yeah,
it was the capitalization in M.
yeah. Why? Yeah, see that. Why? If you're going to have it
Yeah.
in M, have it in DAX. If you're going to have it in DAX, just that would help, I think.
It would make me very happy. And then you get the other say
Yeah,
when you're writing DAX and you're like, if, and then you go
yeah,
then and say, oh no,
yeah.
this
No,
is
it's not that. That's yeah.
they couldn't. I mean, I don't know that many calculation or whatever programming language. I don't know that many, to be honest.
Yeah,
But they are so different. I'm not
yeah.
sure. Is that a common theme that there are?
Well, I think there's a structure. It's like I know a little bit about Python and R, and in Python, I think I'll probably get it wrong there. Python, the indexing starts from 0, whereas in R it starts from 1, and
Okay.
so
Yeah.
it's little things like that
Mm.
that you have to remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, R's cool. I like R.
You can check your DAC out in Teether. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Linda was asking about my dog. He's been swimming today, Belinda. He's gone for his first swim in the sea. So because I work for myself, I can juggle my diary. So I had 3 very very long days, and then took the day off today, and we went down to the beach to see my mum. So he's been surfing in the waves in Cornwall. So he's a very happy puppy.
I wasn't sure if he was a cushion for the first 20 minutes. He was so still. My dog has not been that still his entire lifetime.
It's a
He's
lab, you see. He's half lab, half visitor, so he's very, very relaxed.
very
But it
nice.
does help that he's been running around a lot today.
He's very sweet. He moved a bit before and you were talking. I was like, okay, confirmation. It's definitely a real dog. It's fine.
Yeah, he's
Oh man,
cool.
no, he's fantastic. I grew up with bigger dogs. We had German shepherds and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
we got the dog that we have now is a Dackel in English. It's Dachshund or a
Dash,
Dachshund.
Dachshund.
Dachshund, yeah.
Dachshund. I
Okay,
think it
one
is.
of those
Yeah.
things. Sausage dog. This is a sausage dog.
It's a sausage dog. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And we bought it because we were living in a small apartment at the time with no stairs. It was perfect.
Uh,
And then about a year later, we moved into a decent sized house with 3 levels, and this poor dog had to try and get up the stairs. He could barely navigate himself around the house, the poor thing.
oh.
But for
But
a small dog, he can jump really high. Like we have quite a high
yeah.
bed, and he can jump on it. It's like, how do you do that? You're jumping 5 times your body height. It's insane. Oh, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, but he's been worn out. But I think that's the joy of working from
Yeah.
home. Is that you can, for me, Power BI and working as a
Mm.
consultant is giving me that work-life balance where you
Sure.
can, you get to, I don't tell my customers, but I can't quite believe they pay me because, I'm just having fun the whole time.
Don't tell them
But don't tell them. I think I may have told one or two, but they just took it off. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just amazing because you get to use your brain doing really fun things
Yeah.
and work with people and using this amazing software with lots of really cool people. So
I mean, I can only agree. I say to people quite often. I mean, first of all, I warn them before I say this. Please understand that I'm a complete nerd. I'm a massive data nerd, but it's like my job's my hobby. It's such
yes,
a. I feel
yes,
so lucky.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I don't have this variety of clients like you do. I work for like a company, but nevertheless, it's I get time to play with data, experiment with new ideas, and
yeah, yeah,
people either like them or don't like them. Hey, Carrie's there.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and yeah, it's a complete joy. So
yeah.
it's also, especially now with home office, where I can just
Oh
kind of
yeah,
during the daytime and go and pick up my kids or do some
yeah.
shopping, then come back, and then when I sit with my boss as well. It's more like sometimes work longer hours, but they're not as intense
Mm.
hours.
Yeah, yeah. And I think as well, it's really good for problem solving because sometimes, I might have been working on something and I'll go for a run or I'll take the dog out or
Mm.
I'll, cook supper or something. And you're always thinking it over in your brain. You're always like, how could I do,
Yeah,
what's this, what's that? And um, it is like playing chess.
it's true.
You're
Yeah,
sort of thinking about it, and so having that break sometimes
yeah.
without being in a pressured environment allows you to ponder,
Mm.
and I find that really useful. Just to
I was
think,
once walking down the street. It's probably like a year ago. I was walking down the street, maybe walking the dog or something. Oh, whatever. I was on the street, and
mm,
I was thinking about it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the solution came to me, and I very loudly kind of said something, whether it was a cheer, like that's it, exactly like this. Someone was
yeah,
walking past me, they're like, "What the?" I was like, I couldn't say sorry. I'm thinking about my job. Be like, okay, that's
yeah.
even weirder, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Why would you do? People say
Yeah,
that. Why would you do that? Why would you? That's long. You're like, no, I've just worked out how to
yeah.
do this. It's working. Yes,
Oh
Daniel. When you
man,
step away from the desk, it
yeah,
really is.
it's true.
It's
Yeah.
and there's so
Well,
many interesting stuff to learn.
yeah. Today, for example, I've been working on some Deneb stuff. So Daniel's awesome tool, and
Ah,
I still haven't managed. I'm so frustrated because I don't know why this is the case. Um, I've managed to switch on data labels for every single visualization that I didn't really care about, but the one that I was really working on, I couldn't
ah.
do it. I was like, why? It's so
Why?
frustrating. So
Why
I'm
would
still I'm,
you?
I'm still in the background. I'm still have this sometime
Ah,
somewhere around here. I won't solve it. I don't know enough about it. But on that note, by the way, on Deneb and thinking of Daniel, Kerry's here. Kerry is a new MVP. So just like to say congratulations to
well
Kerry.
done,
That was
Chloe.
fantastic. Really cool work. So well
Yes,
done, mate.
definitely,
Um,
definitely.
very, very cool. If
There's
there's
some
if there's someone
amazing.
else here as well, I apologize, but I only know about Kerry, so I'm just kind of
Yeah,
focused on the moment. Very
Daniel
cool
helped
stuff.
me with Charticulator. I haven't versed into Denel yet. Um,
Mm.
I think there's something on the workout Wednesdays, and I've got about 10 to catch up on, which requires me to know that. So, but when
Yeah,
I got stuck, he helped me on Twitter. So, yeah,
classic. Love it.
yeah.
Absolute legend.
Yeah, it's funny, but well done. Yeah, it's just there are some awesome people out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, you're like a certified trainer, right? Is this correct? That's
Um, yeah,
or
I was. I don't do training anymore.
mm,
I decided to. I've lectured and taught for years and years, and I decided I had to go one of other. I had to choose:
okay, okay.
do I do development or do I do teaching?
Mm,
And I did a teaching session which went really well, but I thought I've missed I've missed quite a lot of the basics because I've forgotten about it, and I'd forgotten
Fair
that
enough.
I turned off date time or something, and I thought, right, well, what do I want to do? So I thought I want to develop because I love playing with it, and the
Yeah.
reason I stopped teaching was because I was teaching all of this cool data modeling stuff, and I thought, well, I don't want to teach it, I want to go and do it.
Yeah.
So what I do now is I work with customers and teach them on their data. So I help them build a model, and it's usually, sort of tricky stuff. And then I teach them how I do it and teach them how to use it. So I use their data to do that. So I use my teaching in that way. But I prefer to do the actual modelling side.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
I
I just thought I can't do both
yeah.
well. So
Yeah, if you spread yourself too thin and or
yeah,
it's something that you don't isn't enjoy as much, then it's kind of difficult to do. I'm not
yeah,
sure, but I mean,
yeah,
I do trainings, but very low key and very infrequent. I used to do trainings for nice big groups of people in my own old company because
yeah,
it was a huge company.
yeah,
But now it's kind of every 3 months there'll be like 4 or 5 people, which is a shame
yeah,
because it's like
yeah.
also by the way, it's just a 3 hour training. It used to be like 2 days, and I find three
Ah,
3 hours is just really really hard because
mm.
this expectation to get through from importing data to transforming
But you
data to
can't do it. You can't do
no
it, can you?
no
And I tend to quite like these hour bite size where, right, I'm going to
yeah
teach you how to do this, and then you go
mm,
into. I'm doing for one of the companies I work for. I'm doing hour sessions on a Tuesday, so I'm going to teach them something, and then the following Tuesday we'll feedback, and then the next week we'll touch on something else. So
yeah
that yeah, I think there's teaching. We've got Jess in our group, Jessica Jolly, who is
okay
is just an amazing trainer, and she just asks so many really good questions. And I think I've yeah, you just learn different things, don't you?
yeah for sure. No,
Yeah,
it's a I think that's also one of the benefits we're talking about. There are so many different parts of what we do. There are so many different
mm,
possibilities. You can just focus. Okay, I enjoy that, so I can focus on that and then develop in that area, or become more of a
yeah,
I don't know expert in that area, for example.
yeah,
I do think with all these different areas and different bits and pieces, I speak to a decent amount of people who are really good at certain things, and it kind of I think generally I would like I consider myself like a master of nothing, just a very general. Okay, I enjoy that. I do a bit of this. If someone said, "What's your expertise?" I'd be like, "I don't know, like
well, yeah, that's
doing
it.
stuff,
Yeah, doing stuff
tinkering."
myself in whatever you want. What do you want me to do? And but it's
Yeah.
yeah, I did Melissa Coates governance and security course because a lot of businesses, smaller businesses, are using Power BI, but they don't have the admin side. So
Yeah.
it's sort of learning all of those things. So there's lots to learn. But I've just seen Jeff's question. What annoys you most about Power BI today?
I
Um,
missed that completely. I apologize, but thank you for picking up on it. I'm so bad at the comments. I'm so bad at it generally.
I see them pick up. It's got to be a lack of measure-driven data labels, Jeff, for sure.
Is he paying you to say that? Is he doing like some kind of PayPal transfer right now?
But I'll tell you what else I would like. I would like when you open up Power Query, when you've got the DAX fields, you can close the DAX fields down and it shuts everything up, and then you open it again.
Yeah.
I want that in Power Query, so it'll close all of my queries down and then open them up again. And I want,
No,
you
I
know,
didn't get it. I don't understand.
So at the top of, yeah, please quick fix questions with the queue. So at the top of DAX, on the Power BI
Yeah.
pane, you can just press the arrow, and when you close it and then open it again, it closes all of your open tables.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, and in Power Query, it doesn't do that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
undo in Power Query as well, Perry, definitely.
Yeah, the dreaded fear of working a copying and pasting all of your. This is why
Yeah,
before I make any major changes, go to the advanced editor and copy and paste it into a.
yeah,
I have a Stream Deck and I totally underuse it. But some of the things I do, one of the things I've got a button. I just press it. It copies everything, opens Notepad and just pastes it. So before I do
yeah,
any changes, I'm like, okay, I've got it there just in case something terrible happens. I
yeah.
have my Like
I
backup.
duplicate it,
Yeah,
and then make the changes and then go
that makes
back.
sense. Yeah.
But yeah, you'd undo for DAX measures commit too. I know. Some yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
actually, it's true. I find using writing DAX in Tablet Editor an interesting experience because I kind of enjoy parts of both. Though they changed
yeah.
it in the PBIX recently. Um, I find that when I make an error when I write my DAX in Tablet Editor, which to me, so it's fairly frequent that happens.
Me too.
It's just like red everywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
and
like
it's like,
it's like give me a break, give me some
yeah,
indication of where my error is
just,
here.
yeah, just please don't point out all of my errors all in one go.
Yeah,
Let me
but
just,
I think I could be wrong, but in the PBIX it gives you the red underline either where the error is or
yeah,
from where the error is. But in Tablet Editor, it just underlines everything in red,
everything, yeah,
which for
yeah,
someone like me, I can go through but it takes me a bit longer than
yeah.
in Italian
It is.
or
Yeah,
anyone else.
yeah. The brains are just amazing. I'm sort of slowly transitioning to Tabular Editor. I
Yeah.
really love using it, but I'm also a little bit fearful of it in a
Mm,
in a way because it's just so powerful.
mm,
But yeah, it's to be able to have the pivot grid and I'm doing the SQL BI's tabular modeling course at the moment, and
yes,
that's just amazing for
it is very
pointing
good.
everything
Yeah.
out. So I'm working through that one.
I'm doing that far too slowly, I must admit. I
Yeah.
I don't think I've opened it in about 2 weeks, which is not good. But
No.
I keep projects for myself, and not like, don't intentionally keep going on about it, but I decided that I really wanted to work with Deno because I love this. I haven't really been into custom visualization before, but with this, I got
Yeah.
into it.
Uh,
So it kind of distracted my attention because it's just such good. I think it's more what I'm interested in, to be honest. I mean, I'm really
yeah.
very
Your
honest.
visualizations are
Yeah,
good.
obviously it's massively important though
Yeah.
the course and what
Okay.
it teaches you. It's very helpful, and I will enjoy learning it. But it's something that's more interesting to me. It's how to create cool and new and more helpful visualization. So that's
Yeah.
probably why, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. And also it's like a treat that he's just jumped off the thing. It's almost like I'm enjoying it because you want to really take it all in.
yeah.
But yeah, and there's just so much, isn't there?
There's loads. I've kind of probably made a terrible mistake that I was speaking to my boss and we're talking about development and stuff that you want to learn. It's like anything interesting. I was like, maybe next year I'd kind of like to learn more about like Azure services and how we use them.
Ah,
And after the call, I was like, why did I say that?
yeah.
That's
But
so much. But to be fair, I know so little about it. To say I want to learn more is like learning two things. Be like, okay, I'm done now. That's it.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I had to learn how to do set up a development tenant in my
Okay.
tenant for a customer because their data has to reside in the UK and all of their Office 365 stuff is in
Hmm.
is American based. So
Okay.
I was like, oh god. So I had to go into Active Directory in that way and
Wow.
learn
Yeah.
things like that. But it's
You get these things. It becomes other worlds. So one of the things that for me, I think never looked at is using the Power BI APIs.
no,
I,
I haven't yet.
that would be very helpful
I
for
did
sure.
have it on my YouTube thing next to watch because I think Adam's done a thing from Guy and
Yeah.
Cube on how to use the Power Query, no, the Power BI REST APIs. And I thought, oh, I
Hmm.
don't know enough about that. I want to learn that.
Yeah.
So,
I just want to have an overview of what's happening with all the reports and like where they are, and
yes,
just
yeah,
that alone would be really
yeah,
helpful.
yeah. Just tell me. I want to know who's using what report. I want
Mm,
to know what's refreshing, how often, just to pull
mm.
out the basic. So I'm doing at the moment the Power BI Admin in a Day course
Okay.
because
Cool.
it's all free. It's on the Microsoft in a Day thing. So
Nice to check it
working
out.
through it and to understand how to pull out the usage and the metrics because I've got a couple of reports that sometimes don't refresh, and then I want to use Phil Seamark's refreshing analyzer So
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to set up a PPU workspace so that I can publish those reports to that workspace, so I can then pick them out, and then
Nice.
they'll still stay in Pro for other people to be able to use.
That's cool.
I think that's the plan.
Think.
I think that's my
I'm sure
plan.
that's accurate.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I can't say to right or wrong. So let's just say you're definitely correct. There's no way I have any idea about that.
yeah.
That's
See, yeah, Jeff says I don't need to know how to use them. I need someone at the org who uses PowerShell.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think it'll be me, Jeff. The orgs are quite small that I work with, so
There you
it'll
go.
be me.
You're giving yourself a
Well,
new
some of them
job.
are small or some of them are big. Yeah,
I started with the using the API stuff, and one of the first steps was log on here and create an Azure something. So I logged on and I went there, and after like 5 steps, I was like, you know what? I just at this point it's not really worth it. So I'll do that later. I thought didn't think it was be hard. But for me, an API is something where I have the API, I
yeah,
can hit it from Power BI, and I have my
yeah,
key in the header, and it's
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Put
how
it
that's
in.
my yeah.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
world of APIs, and as soon
yeah,
as you start having to create stuff in Azure, I'm just like I'm so lost. Which is maybe
yeah.
why my goal for
That
next year will
was
come
your
in helpful.
your tenant was the No, I the same. I love API, but I was just like, I'm going to
Yeah,
tell. So Jeff, now we know that you're redeveloping Rue's report. We know who to tweet on
yeah,
Twitter to get us to help.
exactly. So everyone basically annoyed Jeff on Twitter about that.
Yeah,
He's let it be known. He's made a terrible mistake,
yeah,
tactical error.
yeah. It is, but it is. It's really hard for businesses if they're not a massive business. If they're a massive enterprise business, they'll have a department that will deal with
Yeah,
this. But the businesses I work with are maybe 300-400 staff. Um, that are starting their journey. So it's they might have someone that will start building Power BI reports, but there's this whole infrastructure that goes around it, especially when you start then thinking about governance and security and the different ways that you can stop people sharing data. And there's so many different, different actions that you can take at different
sure.
levels. And then it's everyone gets really excited. And we did this Melissa's course, and someone that was on it was saying, they'd started their business was using it, and it was like the Wild West because everyone was just like so excited and sharing it. And of
Yeah,
course, you then have to put in the governance and security. So you sort of let's start at the baseline and work out who's going to be having access to what and what do we want them to before you let them wild. But,
definitely.
yeah.
We recently had a discussion at my company and talking because we have a very open data policy that, other than data that relates to
Yeah,
certain aspects of customers, whatever, we have just like 2 levels. It's
yeah.
basically certain things people can't see, and the rest is quite open. And there was this discussion like, should we change that? Should we make it more departmental or regional?
Ah.
And I was just sitting there listening, and in my head just going, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't. And luckily they did not.
Here I come.
Yeah. It's like you're discussing it, and it's like a random decision for me. You're talking about like months of work and so much stuff to go through, and it's like I don't want to do
Yeah,
it, man.
yeah. And I want this person from this department to have this access, but if their name begins with a G, then I want them to have this
Definitely,
access.
yeah.
And if they come in on a Thursday, can you add that in as well?
Of course, for me, I can give the easy answer and say, I think it's better if we centralize this all in the cube,
Ah,
and then just like push that out
yeah. Push that
somehow.
up somewhere. Push
Yeah,
that up. Yeah,
that could be like at least give me a few days when no one bothers me, and then
yeah,
okay, let's
yeah,
just do it there. It's
yeah.
fine. But
Yeah,
yeah,
mine would be just send me a list of exactly who you want to have what access, and that will usually take a couple of months.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, it's actually another thing that I haven't really been too much diving into is security. Like because of that, like I've also never used premium other than
Ah,
premium per user. Just PPU is that's
yeah,
all I've used.
yeah,
Oh, your
yeah,
dog's gonna go there. Where's he off to?
yeah. Now
Sorry,
he's off to the radiator. Have a little
nice.
sleep there.
That dog, love it. Gone from the sofa sleeping. He's like, no, you need to be even warmer. You
I
know,
need to be even warmer, right next to the radiator.
that's fantastic.
He's not always like that. He's usually quite bouncy, but it's
You got to
the
take him
end
to
of
the beach
the
more often, eh?
day. Yeah, it's the end of the day. It's ready to, yeah,
Fantastic.
to perform on camera for everyone.
You know, I'm just sorry thinking of radios, which is a really random comment. Do you know people buy like a cooling thing for the laptop? They put like
Oh
a
yes,
laptop on a
yeah,
cooling
yeah,
pad. I
yeah,
accidentally did the opposite, and I just was like, "What's wrong with my laptop?" I was go, "What the hell's going on?" And I looked behind my computer where my laptop is. I got the three screens,
yeah.
and my laptop's sitting on top of a radiator, which I have switched on full. So I've set my laptop on like a heating pad just to make sure, like
They
loads of
switch it
data
goes
go.
really slow.
Exactly, just to really say, what's wrong with performance? That's right, because my laptop's basically on fire right now. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh dear.
See, it's winter days. Put me heating. I never had this throughout the entire summer. But now, yeah,
No, yeah. So Berlin is just amazing as a city. It's my favourite city to run
yeah,
in. It's just
it's quite cool.
the culture and the history, and the park is just, oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
yeah, we have a few. It's a very green city. Yeah,
keeping it
um,
warm.
it's. I think it's one of the. I mean, Germany. It's a very like
Oh, it's
green country,
beautiful.
but Berlin we have loads of parks, which is quite nice. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean in the summer. I mean, to be honest, I'm not a summer person at all. In the
No.
summer I tend to just hide inside because I hate the sun, I hate the heat. But in the autumn, in the spring, these are my times. You know, when it's just kind of
Uh,
bearable. But it's very nice. I was saying to you before, actually, before we started as well, that
yeah,
I'm from Newcastle, so Whitley Bay,
yeah,
and everyone's
yeah.
kind of very friendly and
Yeah.
says hello.
Yeah.
But Berlin's the opposite. So even after I've been here since 2006, yeah. Um, so even for
Oh,
that,
Linda.
bye
Yeah,
Belinda, thank
good
you very
stuff.
much for joining.
Yeah.
Even for that, it's really difficult to get used to after so many years because
Well, yeah.
I still
I'm
want to say
still,
hello and how you doing to people.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, another said, given Ben is very scattered this morning, it generally is.
I'm scared. Yes, true. Actually, that's fair. Where's the? Here it is. It's just who's your?
Favorite Power BI owl is Alex, Alex Powers, the BI.
There are like 5 owls now, right?
I don't know. I don't know the owl thing.
Ah, see, Jeff.
Enlighten me.
He's trying to gain support for his owl, I think here, and I think
Who's your owl, Jeff? It
I
might be.
think
I might have realised it and not seen it's yours.
it's the burner one, right? It's Henry the Owl Burner or something. Yeah, there was
Ah.
like owl wars going on Twitter or something.
Oh, I've missed
Um,
that.
yeah. See, Jeff, you
Yeah,
could.
tell me, Jeff, which one it should be, and then I'll look out for it.
Yeah, and then Sue will follow it, and she can vote on your poll to not delete the account or something, whatever it is.
My
His
lips
lips
are
are sealed.
sealed. I'm going to look now for owls.
It's
I've
a
just
it's a
started.
it's a really
Go on.
badly kept secret, which is Jeff's favorite owl. I can't tell you who. Oh, Jesus Christ,
Hoot, hoot, hoot.
that's so bad. I hate myself for even smiling at that one, to be honest.
It's my favourite joke is a really sad one, but you're a Geordie, so you'll like it. You have to know. So, what do you call a three-legged donkey? Wonky.
That reminds me of Ant and Dec, Wonky Donkey.
Yeah, wonky donkey. That's a UK Geordie thing.
Yeah,
It is. Newcastle is one of the friendliest cities, I think,
it's
in the
nice.
UK.
Yeah,
Everyone's just,
yeah.
they're just lovely.
What I miss being in Berlin is the coast and also hills, because Berlin's
Yeah,
very flat and there's nothing really countryside interesting around it.
yeah, yeah.
So this is quite tough sometimes being in Berlin for that reason. It's a cool city, but just look, it's true.
No.
To well connected new record. It's just in time to hear us talk about the Power BI owls. So
Yeah,
it's really we've been motivated because of the owls. I love it.
yeah.
But yeah, actually, I'm telling you, Sue's crew is she's brought so many people today. It is a new record.
Uh,
It is a
yeah,
new
no,
record.
it's
Probably.
Yeah, but it's lovely though because you do get to meet the people behind Twitter. I don't, it's I read stuff from Bernat and Jeff and Christian and Linda and all of the, there's a whole group that you see and you read and you're like, "Oh, I didn't know that," or "I knew this," or and we all learn from each other. So it's
Sure.
really nice to meet the human beings behind the Twitter faces, and yeah.
I enjoy these especially because I don't get the chance to do these group stuff or so
Yeah.
often. But what I enjoy about these is that each one is very different. Like you mentioned before about the one, was it last week with Owen,
With Owen, I watched that and I
which was really great, but the DAX, I felt afterwards. I apologized. I was like, "Oh, and I'm so sorry. I promised you it wouldn't be anything like in depth or anything about like DAX." But it was
thought,
like DAX, DAX, DAX. It was
yeah,
great. You
he
didn't
can
mind,
do
of
it
course,
in his
but
sleep though.
yeah,
He
of
is
course,
absolutely awesome.
yeah.
When Marco was doing his DAX challenges on a Saturday morning, I had to make sure I didn't watch Owen because if I saw Owens, then it would give you the answer. So I was just like, don't look at Owens, don't look at Owens. Just get the question from Marco. Stay off Twitter for a bit. Try to work it out, and because
That's
otherwise,
fair.
I mean, but he's really good at M as well. So when we did our, I don't know why he isn't, and why is he not an MVP? He's
Really?
been doing support in the community for for so long. He's amazing. But yeah, he did the hello Peru. He
Hello
did
there.
30 Days of Query that Alex Powers did, and he was just as awesome in M as he is in DAX. So yeah,
Is that the what's the name of the dog?
Sam.
Sam. There you go.
It's called
Sam
Sam.
the dog. Love it.
Uh,
Yeah, maybe he's with as close to one of these Power BI unicorns as you're gonna get, right? If you're good at
yeah,
DAX and good at M, then that's pretty much
yeah. He is, and he's just a complete genius.
yeah.
So much Microsoft.
Maybe it's that would be a good explanation, to be honest.
Yeah.
I should know that given the fact that I give everyone a little like online stalk before I talk to them, but I forgot about that
uh,
part.
yeah. You guys are
Chandu.
Chandu. Yeah. Chandu.
I
Yeah.
don't. Maybe I should. DAX
Dax
makes
makes
money, M saves money.
yeah. Agile analytics.
I like that a lot. I'm gonna do it. I
Yeah.
always
No.
DAX makes me laugh. It's such the thing that draws every attention. It's like the cool part of Power BI. It gets all the spotlight, and then poor M
Yeah.
sitting in the background doing all the hard work.
Well, yeah, M. It's just so if you get your M right and your model right, the DAX is so much easier.
Yeah.
It's just. But the thing that I was when they were talking about when I first started, they were talking about normalizing. It has to be a star schema. In
Hmm.
databases, except in databases, you have three NF, so each table is a separate entity.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't work out. It took me a while. I was just like, but we've got these tables, and you've got product, and you've got you've got product group, and you've got this, and you've got that. And it took me a while to then, it's not, it's the normalized table.
Yeah.
So that, and then when I sussed that out, then my DAX was a lot simpler because I wasn't have to filter in by about 3 or 4 different things in the calculating stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, M is the
M is the
base.
base of the band. That's actually really I like that. I
Mm,
think there's so many comments that goes in the chat here that could just get put on T-shirts and mugs and stuff. M of
yeah.
the base of the band is I like that a lot. It's very true.
Yeah,
With
definitely. And yeah.
with M, I spend a lot of time just putting flags on dates because it makes
Yeah.
stacks so much
Yes,
easier.
yes,
Put a
yes,
flag in a
that's
date.
it. Yeah, put a flag, put a 1 or a 0, so I
Yeah.
know that it's like it, yeah.
And this
Yeah.
this question's like I've seen it. I mean, maybe a bit older, but how can I get this report so when I open it, it's automatically filtered to this week? Like
Yeah.
put a flag on the date. There you go. Done.
Yeah, put a flag on the date. That's it. But can't remember someone I was talking to, and they were sort of, selling themselves up quite high.
Hmm.
But they hadn't used M. Everything was in DAX, and you're just like, well, how? I was like, well, how can you do Power BI without opening Power Query? I don't understand. I don't get it.
It depends what you've. I mean, when I started working for my current company, when I first, well, in the first week, a couple of weeks, they were talking about, when you build a report, we just want you just to connect live to the cube all the time. And I was like, I don't want to do that. That sounds really,
No,
really,
that's
really
not fair.
terrible. I'm not going to do that. So
Yeah,
luckily, I
no.
don't have to do that. So
Yeah,
it would have been so dull. I was like, no, this is not. It's no fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Why would you do that? It's like you don't get your whoop whoop moments. Like whoop whoop, I found it. I've got it
yeah.
connected. It's all, you know.
It's all prepared for me, and yeah,
It's
it was.
oh
And actually, I
no.
remember when I first started that we were using it. There was something a lot older, and you couldn't, if you connected live to the cube, you couldn't even write a measure. What was that? Yeah, doesn't matter. But there was nothing. You just had the date that you were given, and you couldn't do anything
Yeah.
else. Yeah,
Oh,
doesn't matter. But
okay.
still, I don't do it anymore. So
Yeah.
it
No,
was.
I'm much happier in Power Query and data flows. I like data flows a lot too.
Yeah, I think did I use no once because of the premium thing.
Yeah. You can still use data flows without premium.
But I tried to do something, and it told me that I couldn't do it if it didn't have premium, and I was very upset by that. I wanted to invoke a custom function to loop through multiple parts of an
Yeah.
API, and it told me without premium I couldn't do it, and I got in a
Ah.
huff and I closed it.
Yeah. Well, I did that to start with because I
Mm,
couldn't join. It was telling me you can't join because you haven't got premium. You can't
yeah.
join this table with that
Mm,
table. But then I've read some or something that it said if you actually make the table not able to load, then you can join it. So you pull the table, so you can do all sorts of joining, but you
okay.
just make the table, you don't enable them to load. So, and then it lets you do it.
Okay. So okay, I have to get over my huff and revisit it. Is what you're telling me, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he thinks there's a workaround. There is a
Okay.
workaround, but I
Okay.
did the same as you. I opened it and I was like, I tried to join two tables together, and it's like, well, you can't do that. You haven't got premium. And I thought,
That's
well, I'm not playing
interesting.
with you then.
Because my thought on that was like, well, what's the point in this? Because it's
Yeah,
just it's just Power Query that I can't use without premium. So I was like, well,
yeah.
I don't need that. Off you go.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it worked for me because I was pulling a lot of data out of SharePoint, and it was much more
Mm,
stable using a data flow than
okay.
the Power Query desktop. It's the you know you were playing with the format pane, the new format pane
Mm,
in Power BI. Um, I had a go at it,
mm.
and then when I realised I couldn't change my date slicer to I was like, right, it's off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's off. Fix
Oh
that, and then
man.
I'll play again. But
Absolutely. For me, it was the chiclet slicer because I use it in everything, and
chiclet's amazing. Yeah.
I couldn't specify columns and rows from the chiclet slicer,
Ah,
and I was like, well, there you go then. I was like, I'm gonna try and get through it. I'll do all the clicking, and then I saw
yeah,
that I was like, what? No, what's the point, man? I was
yeah.
so disappointed in that.
I saw you say, I really want to love it. I'm going to try. There's lots of clicking. I'm going to try. And I was doing something else and I couldn't. And so I followed it. And then I
Mm,
thought, all right, I'll have a go. And then it was the chiclet slicer off. And I did the same with the dates. I was like, do I
mm,
have to keep these really great round things? No.
yeah.
Yeah, Power Query is Batman,
Power
Donald.
Query is Batman. Yeah, why not?
Mm.
Batman's cool. Power Query is cool. I can get on board with that. No worries. Look, I'm not gonna argue too much.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
chiclet
chiclet
slicer
slicer should be native.
should be native. It really should be.
It's a good
Because
point.
it's,
Yeah.
it's such an amazing slicer.
Yeah.
It
And I
should
mean,
be.
it's the best way to display images in a report
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just there, big. You can do anything. It's just so cool.
yeah.
None of this
But
table nonsense.
it took me a while to work out images. You know
Mm,
how to store them if you do. You know if you have them, you have to store them in the cloud or
it's
whatever.
true.
But Alice at Discover Eye, the Australian,
Yeah, they do
she
amazing work.
she
I
did a
mean,
really good tutorial a year or two
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah,
Their map work is
there you
phenomenal.
go.
Like
Yeah,
truly, it's,
racing.
everything the maps, all the maps that they are watching, I'm just kind of it's amazing.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
she's very cool.
yeah, very
Yeah,
cool. I
yeah.
just noticed that we're like 10 minutes over time, by the way. I do apologize. I said 45 minutes. I'm just kind of like, okay, this is clearly has no end, by
It's
the way.
just like talking to friends, really,
I'm sorry.
isn't
And
it?
look, as just said before, I just blabber. I'm not sure. I want to bring it up again, but he's right. I just sit here and just blabber, and then it goes, oh, that's right. We've been talking for so long. Exactly,
Yeah,
Daniel MP
yeah.
also.
They are. They are. I mean, when Alice shared her, you know, how she got all of her visuals to work, I just went, oh, thank
Mm,
you, Alice. You know,
mm,
'cause, you know, using where I can't remember the name of the online thing that she uses, and it was just that just saved me
yeah.
hours.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think the first one of the reports I saw was this productivity report.
Yeah.
And I made a video about it when I first started my channel, so it's probably massively terrible. But I loved it so much, and I kind of keep going back to their site for ideas because I love how they just it's really
They're
very cool.
brilliant.
As
Really
I, often
brilliant.
I'll DM them and I say, "Look, how did you do that? Because I don't understand how that's done." And they'll give me a response. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I half understand your response. I'll Google that as well." Add it to
Yeah.
this ever expanding list of stuff that I want to learn. And
How do you do? Because I do that. I like things. Ken and Matt are live after this. They're also just. I mean, we've got such an amazing group of people to learn from.
yeah,
But I like in LinkedIn if someone says something, or I like it in Twitter so that I can go back to it to then watch it again. But then, how do you keep track of everything?
I
I don't
don't.
know.
I should have a database of the things that I want to learn, but I'm not that organized, to be honest. I can
My
barely keep track of these.
Yeah, I tend to think, oh, that was good, and then when I need it, I sort of, try and then work my
Yeah,
way back to find it or
yeah.
ask someone. But yeah,
We have enough to keep ourselves busy, Sue. It's okay. If
yeah,
if it's that important, if it's that cool, it'll loop back around somehow on our
yes,
timeline, and it'll be okay.
yeah,
That's that one.
yeah, yeah. We'll come and find it. We'll find it
Yeah,
when we want to. It'll
exactly.
be really good. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
let's wrap it up because it's been a wonderful session, but I'm taking up so much of your time and everyone
uh,
else's time as well. So
no worries.
thank you so much. It was a lovely chat, and I'm happy that you weren't bombarded with DAX to make you feel terrified.
I watched Owens and I thought, oh, don't do that to me. I need a pen and paper. And I tried to answer one of the SQL ones without coffee and got it wrong. So I need pen, paper, and coffee.
The fact that you do it
Um,
with a pen and paper for me is astonishingly impressive. And I was like, no. I had to write it in the DAX editor so I can actually see where all my errors are. If it's on a pen and paper, I'm like, I'll probably get about calculate sum, and even then I'll probably forget a bracket somewhere. So
yeah.
yeah.
Oh no, not even the cat. To try and work out what it is I'm trying to
Okay,
do.
okay, I
Sometimes
understand.
with
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
yeah, not the code. Couldn't do that.
Oh man.
Uh,
Anyway,
it's been a real pleasure, Ben. Thank
it's
you.
my pleasure. Thank you so much for joining. I had a really nice
Yeah,
chat as ever,
me
and for
too.
everyone in the comments, everyone chatting and joining, it
Yeah,
was
it's lovely.
awesome. I really, really appreciate it all the time. So, thank you
Yeah.
much to everyone. And before I forget,
Yes,
next
Donald,
week,
definitely.
yeah,
That's
um,
by Kerbal. You'll like this one.
next week I have Will Thompson, which would be good fun as well. So,
Oh,
if people
yeah.
want to join next week, we'll be chatting with Will same time next week on Thursday, and
Yeah.
yeah, thanks everyone. Have a
All right.
lovely evening or morning or afternoon, and I shall see you all somewhere on Twitter or wherever next
Bye
week.
bye. Well done,
Bye.
Terry.